I don't want to waste too much time talking about people who claim to have created these circles as art projects or media stunts or for some other personal reason, but they do exist. People have claimed to make these circles. All of the circles I'm talking about were apparently created by individuals or groups of people who claim they made them. You can easily look them up if you're interested. Just look up the name of the crop circle and the date, etc. So let's say you lie about creating a crop circle and offer some simple explanation for it. Most people will accept this as the truth and perpetuate it as so. This gives you some media attention, you get known, maybe you write a book. You see this as a decent business opportunity and begin claiming other circles. I mean, why not? Money's good, the publicity's great. Until the truth is revealed and has nothing to do with your lie. And lo, this is the situation we have today. What you might find is that after the solution is offered, these groups or people will come forward and say, hey, that's exactly what we were talking about. That was our solution to the puzzle. Great, congrats. And try to take all the credit for it, right? You know, and say it means nothing, but it was just our puzzle and that you were able to solve it. Great. It's just curious why somebody would see a circle, know that they didn't make it, but claim to have made it. I just don't understand that. Some groups offer explanations for the circles they say they made, but what I've discovered is that they are not individual circles with separate meanings, but rather they are small pieces to a giant interlocking puzzle. None of these individuals or groups could possibly have collaborated on such an effort spanning decades. I mean, you know, since the 1990s until now. If they were able to create designs that interlock with each other for the last 20 years, somehow separately, well, that's a feat of amazement if you ask me. So you know what? Let's discover the truth together right now. So let's get started today. Here is a pretty famous crop circle. Most people know this one. Came down July 17th, 1991. It was very bizarre shape. Came down in a field next to Barbury Castle in UK. And soon thereafter it was claimed to be made by a couple of old dudes with boards and ropes. And that's what started that whole, basically, debunking of crop circles. But we're not here to talk about them, we're here to discuss this circle because it has deep meanings that these two old men were definitely not aware of. There's so much information to cover, I just can't do it all in one video, but... So this shape is representative of a tetrahedron, as viewed from the top down. In the center we have a circle, and then two concentric rings around that. And then we have these three circles on each corner of this tetrahedron with very distinct shapes. So let's go over them quickly. So this circle on the bottom left here, to me represents the symbol of a circle. And not only that, but it's showing a radius. So it's giving you a dimension, or perhaps telling you what the unit is that they're working with. This radius could be equal to 1. And if you take this circle and you map it over the other two circles, it fits perfectly over the top one, and the bottom right circle, it sort of only covers a section of it, because the bottom right circle is actually bigger than the other two. So the circle on the top had these curved lines in it, and at first I thought they were just curved randomly in a random arc, but it turns out that they're actually part of the flower of life. And it creates a perfect flower of life using these curves, and they've just taken away all the other lines that are not present. What's interesting about this flower of life is that if you measure the diameter of the flower of life that is drawn, it gives you the diameter of this largest ring on this circle, and also lines up closely with some of these other points on the bottom here. So that's basically all I'm going to explain about this crop circle, but you will see how this crop circle is a geometric key. Now we're going to jump ahead to 2013, and we're going to go to Italy. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce the name of this crop circle, but it came down on June 30th, 2013, and still hasn't been decoded to this day, but let's take a look and see what we can find here. So I want to point out these two symbols around this ring. We've got a double arrow on the bottom and a single arrow on the top, which I found pretty curious. We also have these individual sections that seem to have some binary code in it. This is another important part of the circle, because if you actually look up 4-bit binary code online, it'll lead you to something called gray code, or Gray's code, and that code was used to determine the position of a shaft on a motor when it is spinning. And you can send that information to a computer that'll analyze that data and determine what angle the shaft is currently at. Very important in electromechanics. So on the right we have a triangle with 6 small triangles inside, and it kind of stands out in this image because the top, bottom, and left side of this circle are empty. And so it's like, well, what are these triangles here for? What's the purpose of these triangles? That's the question. Here is another circle that was created in Italy on June 21st, 2014. Some key points to note here are the double triangles on the bottom, the double arrows on the bottom, and the single arrow on top. And then you'll also notice that we have a double arrow on the left side and a single arrow on the right side of the circle on the outside pointing inward. And then we have these small circles arranged in an odd pattern here, and there's 13 circles. Also, if you notice, there are a series of triangles and circles around the inside of this outer ring, and also a series of dots surrounding the outside. And according to the group that created this particular circle represents a reactor. Okay, and on June 23rd, 2015, another crop circle in Italy was created, which has very similar artifacts. Remember, these last 3 circles that I'm describing here are each a year apart. So around the outside we have this binary code which has been deciphered already. You can find this information online. I'm not going to decipher it here. Inside we also have some triangles that look like another binary code. Could it be? Not too sure. And then also on the inside ring here we have more triangles that represent possibly binary information. And then we also have some key artifacts here which are double arrows pointing outward and a double arrow pointing inward. Very interesting. Are we seeing some correlations between these 3 circles already? Okay, 2 more circles to introduce, and there's plenty more we could talk about, but I don't really have a lot of time to go into all of them, so I'm just going to point out the very few that are distinct to me. So here on August 6th, 2009, this crop circle was created in the UK, and it features many concentric rings with circles that create an inversion pattern. And another crop circle that was created in Brazil, November 2nd, 2013, was a spiral pattern attached to a circle. Okay, and I'm not going to talk over the next part, but I'm going to show you how all these circles are related. Watch carefully. Look at how perfectly they fit our key diagram. This is amazing. And this just scratches the surface of how many circles are actually related to each other. There are many keys, and there are many different types of layering circles that I have discovered, and this is just one of them. I'll go into more detail about what I think this crop circle means and what I think it is in another video. But I would love to hear your guys' ideas, so please leave a comment down in the comment section about what you think this is. And I'll even show you what I've deciphered from this circle. But if you want to get started and try and decipher it for yourself, you are more than welcome. And please let me know what you find. So please like, share, and subscribe. And hit that bell, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.